Okay guys, so in this video we'll be going over some trades I took these past couple of weeks and also a market outlook. Now for this trade idea, the first thing I always do is I always go on the higher time frame and I try to figure out what exactly is the trend. Now as we can see, we are bearish. We are in a bearish trend. And the reason why I try to figure out what exactly is the trend, because the trend is our friend. We always want to be trading with the trend. So we saw that we're obviously bearish, and if we analyze the daily time frame, we can actually see how price came to this retracement level between 0.705 and 0.79, which is retracement levels that I like to use, and saw how price cleanly rejected off that level. And it was at this area where I started to notice that there was an order block here. Now obviously we don't trade just using order blocks. We need more confirmations, no more confluences. So I went on the lower time frame and I saw how there was a fair value gap inside here. I also saw this pattern called the power of 3. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's basically price consolidates, creates these equal highs where there is liquidity, price comes, takes out the liquidity and continues down. And the last confluence I had was that this was during a kill zone time, or basically this was during New York session, 9 a.m. So all these confluences gave me the idea that this was a good trade setup, and I sold right here. So where was my stop loss? My stop loss was right here. Stop loss above the high for 1 to 2. So that was my first trade. Now for the second trade I took was, we knew we were bearish and we saw how price took out these lows right here and came back again, once again, for a retracement. As we can see, price came to our level between 0.705 and 0.79, and not only was it a retracement, we can also see this as a breaker block. And I sold perfectly at this level, stop loss above the high for 1 to 2, and as we can see, the trade hit TP. Now there was another breaker block on the 4-hour. However, this trade idea, the risk to reward wasn't really worth it, so I didn't classify it as a A+ setup, and I didn't really take it. So the 1 to 2, because as you can see, the stop loss is huge if we place it above the high for a 60 pip stop loss, so I didn't take that trade. But we can obviously expect price to keep going down as we're in a bearish trend. We look for more resistance, more institutional resistance, and keep selling. So as we can see, price kept going down, and eventually my next setup was this order block. Price never came to it. Price never came to that order block, and then I saw this setup. I see how price took out these equal highs in here, took out the liquidity and created this order block. However, price rejected off it, but eventually it took out these highs, and that was my first loss with AU after a couple of weeks. And so I thought to myself, are we in a bullish market now, or was this just a liquidity grab? But price kept on taking out these highs, the first high, the second high, the third high, and that's when I thought, oh, maybe we are in a bullish market now. However, we see that price actually came to a retracement level once again, to our level, and it rejected off it beautifully. And then that confirmed my bias that we are still in a bearish trend. And what will confirm it in the future is if price takes out these lows, I would say we're in a bearish trend. However, if price comes up and takes out this high, I would say we are in a bullish trend and I will start looking for buys. But currently, as we can see, I see this as a retracement. I see this as a bearish trend. So with this breaker block here as an entry, and also with this retracement level, 0.79 perfectly. This is my next trade idea. This is my market outlook, which is stop loss a little above the high for 1 to 2 and continue the bearish trend. So yeah, that's my trade analysis for AU, and thank you for watching.